Hello everyone. So I am here today with Alia, my digital Lola, and I am back today to do a rather sappy, sentimental, stupid video that feel free to ignore, but I don't know, I've been thinking about it all day, and that's the fact that I am glad to have dolls. I am happy, overjoyed, crazy, over the moon to have dolls. Now, a lot of people out there say collecting dolls, waste of money, waste of time to put any care into them. If you have a lot of them, you're a hoarder. They just go on and on about how this is pretty much just a waste in every respect. And it gets really frustrating when I see stuff like that, but at the same time, it's starting now to really just slide off my back, because today, especially when I was thinking about Alia, her character, I realized something that I realized was 100% true. Basically, if I had never gotten Alia in doll form, I don't think she would have grown into the character she is now. And the character she is now happens to be a character that is near and dear to my heart, that I love absolutely, and I'm so glad for. If I had not, I think I would have given up on her. And it feels bad to say that, but I think I would have, because me and her were kind of at a standstill, and she was becoming less and less important in my story, which is ridiculous, because the story wouldn't have existed without her. But it was true, is because I just didn't feel comfortable with her. Like, she wasn't what I wanted to be, and she wasn't growing. She wasn't. My other characters were growing, but she was staying still, and I couldn't figure out the problem with her. I could not. And maybe with time, like maybe just without her in doll form, maybe over the years I would have pinpointed it somehow, but I don't know how I would have without her. Like, I can't see how I would have because in working on her and getting her to where she is now, that's how I developed her character. Because when I first got her, she had the default face up, and she had the eyes and the hair that I always thought Alia as a character had. And over the time in having her, I just kept looking at it and realizing, I don't know if I like it. But then, you know, I kept letting it go until I started doing my own face-ups. And when I started doing my own face-ups, I of course start with blank dolls first, but then I wanted to get rid of the default face-ups I have, and so that all my dolls are cohesive. So after doing her first couple face-ups, I realized the eyes and the wig I had for her was just not working. And I couldn't figure out why until I realized that the idea I had behind it was kind of ridiculous. And that's when it hit me. Because, like, if you remember her from back in the day, she had one blue eye and one yellow eye. And she had black hair with blue and yellow in it. And it looked awesome, actually. Like, I will not lie, it looked awesome. I did love how it looked when I was looking at it, but I didn't like the reason behind it. The reason behind it was very convoluted, and it's not that it necessarily didn't make sense. It took a lot to make it make sense, when a much simpler route, I could have taken a much more simpler route. So I started playing with her some more, and then she had the face up that, until I got to the face up she had before this one, where she was wearing the pastel blue wig, and she had like pink and purple in her face up. And in doing that, I changed her character again. And in doing that, it made me get down to this character, this version of her. And that's because I realized I was just kind of forcing an identity on her when I just wanted her to be just a girl. I think I was putting a lot on her shoulders and trying to make her all these different sort of things to suit me when in reality I should have been listening to her. And that's how I got around to this face up, which I happen to adore. This wig, I don't know if it's a permanent sort of thing. She changes her wig because I want whatever I want it to be. Because she does actually still, as a character thing I left from her previous incarnation, she does wear wigs. She does it in support of Haru. Her natural hair color is black, and every once in a while she'll wear a really bright wig, but mostly she just wears wigs in general that suit her style, because Haru does. Haru has to, but she does not, but she does in support. And I don't know. I really like that aspect. I don't know. So I kept it. That's why I went with it. But in struggling with her constantly in doll form over and over, like the amount, I think I did 20 total face-ups on her. There's a possibility I did more. And that is counting the ones where I would put down like a layer or two and immediately wipe it, because I'm like, this is not even right. I struggled with her. I struggled with her style. I struggled with wigs. I struggled with everything with this girl. And in doing so, came to love her and came to really strengthen her character. And I realized today that I don't know if that would have happened at all had I not been struggling with her in doll form versus struggling with her on paper. Now, I've had many characters progress on paper. So I'm not saying it's not possible, because that is damn not true. But I am saying with her, it was a saving grace for her character. And that's why no one ever can tell me what a waste this is, what a waste of a hobby, waste of money, waste of blah, blah, blah. It is, because to me, it is absolutely important, absolutely needed. My writing, my stories, they are the most important thing to me. And I went through a long period without any of it. It was beyond writer's block, if there's a different word for it. It was beyond that. Only when I started collecting dolls did it come back. And for some reason, I feel like I'm going to cry. I hope I don't. I'm sorry. It's getting caught in my nose because I feel like I'm going to cry. But for a long time, there was just nothing. And then I started collecting dolls, and that's when it came back to me. And I started creating characters again, started creating stories again, backstories, stuff like that. And to think that there are people out there who think that is a waste, it's a shame. I don't abide by it. And I just will not allow people to say that to me, or say that in general, because it is such an untruth. Because yes, this hobby is expensive. Yes, it can be time consuming and financially consuming. But for me, it's worth it, and it helps me get back to something I need in my life. Like, it's not a want or a desire. I absolutely need it in my life. So I don't know, that was a ridiculously sappy thing, but it had to be put out there. I don't know, I've been thinking about it all day, and I'm like, I have to put this out there because it's true. I am so glad for these dolls. I'm glad they exist. I'm glad that I'm glad that I got into the hobby. Any downs I've had in a hobby, it does not matter, because at the end of the day, this has gotten me to a place that I love more than anything. So I don't know. So let me end this video here, this nonsensical, rambly, all over the place thing here, before I start crying on camera for whatever reason. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much if you watched, and so sorry if you got secondhand embarrassment, because I feel embarrassed. But I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.